What's up, everybody? It's the Best Spot Kits Move, and I'm not going to do the usual bullshit and pretend that, oh my god, I hate Xbox because they laid off 9,000 people, even though it's a lot more than people than previously estimated. We knew something was going on, but bro, did they blow the cap off? 9,000 people. 9,000 people. Let's see what the damage was that Xbox did, right? Microsoft Xbox lays off 9,000 people. That included 50% of Turn 10, which is one of Xbox's most consistent, most reliable studios that gives us Forza Motorsport. They haven't delivered a game that rated under an 80 since maybe ever. And that included the cancellation of Everwild because they've been working on that game for a better half of a decade. Saw the game. It was the first game to kind of usher in next generation as far as reveals, and it never released. I don't know what they were working on, so they probably had that one coming, but it also included the cancellation and the shutdown of the initiative and the cancellation of Perfect Dark Zero, which was one of my most hyped games, most anticipated games in the last 3 years, and it's no longer coming. The beef I have with Microsoft and Xbox when it comes to video games is canceling games that are deep into development, canceling games that they've announced, revealed, and showed off. They have a knack for doing that bullshit. At least finish what you fucking started. Don't reveal the game. I understand canceling games that haven't been revealed, but we've seen Perfect Dark twice. We saw the CGI trailer, then we saw gameplay. Now they're saying that the stuff we saw was completely fabricated, wasn't real. So maybe Derek Gallagher just blew off a lot of money. Who knows? Whatever. But nonetheless, I'm disappointed. So this is the straw that breaks the camel's back for me. Now, again, layoffs happen all the time. That's cliche. I know that that's not really the issue. It's more so the gaming portion of it. See, people got to understand, right? We fell in love. So Xbox fans, we were happy about these acquisitions because we thought it meant more exclusive for Xbox gamers and more value to Xbox Game Pass, a reason to buy an Xbox. That's why we wanted to do it, to be more competitive against PlayStation. It was working for a while, and then the Activision deal happened, and it went shit storm since then. They've closed studios, they canceled projects. We lost Tango, we lost Arcane Austin, we lost I think some studios got shut down as well. And so what they did was the Activision Blizzard deal happened, and I guess Microsoft expected Xbox to make an immediate profit, like within months of it closing, because it took only months after the deal closing for them to start fucking up shit. So what they did was, after the Activision deal, they had their little business meeting, and they said, we're going to port 4 games. They lied. They just became multi-plat, essentially. That's what they did. They became multi-plat, which is the first nearly fatal blow to an Xbox fan, an Xbox fanboy, an Xbox loyalist. That was a major blow, no matter how you try to cut it. I can't be a Game Pass fanboy. It just doesn't work. You know what I mean? I subscribe to Game Pass because I like my money and I like a good deal. But as far as like, hey, at least it's in Game Pass, I don't care if it's in PlayStation Plus or not in PlayStation Plus. That doesn't matter. I'm not subscribed to PlayStation Plus, so I don't care what's in there or not, right? So you had that. So that was the blow. Now, all the studios that they've been buying and acquiring and building from the ground up, because Microsoft sucks at building studios from the ground up. It's been proven, and the initiative was supposed to be the one that did it. Because you guys got to forget, Playground was already established. They were just bought because they work closely with Microsoft. Bungie was purchased. Gears of War, they didn't buy Epic Games. The studio that made Gears of War was a collection of talent that made Gears of War. They had a foundation, so that's the easiest one. I would say that the only successful one from the ground up. Turn 10, believe, successful from the ground up. 343, so even though I think they make the best Halos, but other than that, yeah, this is what's happening is the worst nightmare. Xbox is multi-plat. There the layoffs, layoffs happening, but cancel games and studio shutdowns because those images and those graphics, the roadmaps, the Clover roadmaps, and 33 studios and all this other stuff, and it means nothing. It means nothing because Microsoft is ran by a CEO who only cares about cloud, AI, and money. Money. I know money. And they have an incompetent gaming core who don't know how to market video games, who don't know how to market consoles, who give up very easily. They give up on games. They give up on everything they start. They give up on console sales. It's hard to be an Xbox fan because it's hard to trust them. You know what I mean? This is why I said, man, Microsoft should sell Xbox to Meta or freaking Apple, because I think they would entertain the fight a little bit more. I think they would be in it. Meta's trying to get into gaming. They're doing it through like their VR and stuff, and they're sticking with it. They have exclusives. They have unique selling points, right? So they actually care, no matter how niche the market is, right? They feel like they have a fighting chance. Apple doesn't give a fuck. Apple, literally, product is it's an exclusive. If it was Apple will make anything exclusive. They make their stores exclusive. Like, come on, Coco, don't do this in the middle of my rant video. Shut up. So Apple makes everything like expensive and exclusive and good and make people want it. They make people want to come to them. So yes, I still feel the same. Microsoft, I don't trust because they try to set trends, and when they don't set it, they fall behind. They sell it, they get rid of it, and they're just mediocre. So yes, you can like Xbox and hate Microsoft at the same time. We're forced to like Microsoft because they have the pockets that could put Xbox on another stratosphere. They just don't know how. And it sucks. It sucks. So no, this video isn't me saying, hey, Microsoft, laid off 9,000 people, can't go games, so I'm just gonna sell my Xbox and then subscribe to Game Pass. No, what this is like, I'm nervous because Microsoft being too rich can turn off Game Pass like this. They can stop production of Xbox like that. They can stop their gaming business and it not hurt them one bit. But by them doing that, they will put a bad damaging dent in the industry. But they'll be fine. But everybody else is fucked up. This is why their pivot to being multi-plat and not being competitive with Sony, it screwed content creators of the gaming space. So I can't be an Xbox fan or fanboy or like ambassador or any of this. It's just I don't trust them. They got me because I like video games. I love their console. I love Game Pass. I like their product. But damn, I don't trust them. I don't trust them. And it sucks because every quarter they're due. And I should have known this was coming. Because like I said, everything Microsoft say they won't do, they do. And every time they start talking a bit too much, a storm is soon to follow. So what do I expect for their finances? Their finances should be dropping soon. You don't want to hear about any profits or record profits and stuff like that. You don't want to hear anything about that. You know what I mean? It's either going to be horrible or it's going to be great. But either way, if it's horrible, like, okay, we understand why they laid off 9,000 people. But if it's great, it's like, what the fuck? That means it was great, but the people that make the big bucks, profit margins wasn't good enough because they have too many people to pay. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is the thing, right, with gaming, right? And there's a lot of people online that will profit off of this, that will try to make a mockery of this, will try to make money off of this. They'll try to use these opportunities to big up themselves, to go, viral and stuff like that. Trying to reach out to all the laid off people or some of the laid off people so they can, have content. You know who you are. There's a lot of people that's in that. And I feel for the people that lose their job, because at the end of the day, these are working people, and we live in a tough economy, in a tough environment where you can't go without a job. Things are just too expensive. Everything there, things are just too expensive to be losing your job. You know what I mean? Especially if you have a high paying job. And that needs to be said. So there's nothing funny about it, but in the tech world, in the industry, in the gaming industry, layoffs is too common. So I can't pretend, even though this is a large number. I think PlayStation laid off 900 people. I think that's like 10% of what Microsoft laid off. I can't, even though it's common, the tech world, gaming is all too common. It sucks, but the results of this, like, I don't know what the hell these people want. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? So my thing is, you can't show games, you can't reveal games, and then, I don't think I could work for a company, right? And showing something, hey, I'm shipping this in the next year or two, looks good, start advertising it. That's not happening if there's a chance that this project I'm working on can be canceled. Microsoft has a knack for doing that. A knack for canceling things that are deep into development, things that they showed off, things that they sold you, pre-sold you. Fable Legends, Scalebound, now Perfect Dark, which was, again, my most anticipated game in the last 3 years. This is the game I wanted. I wanted to see what Daryl Gallagher and Initiative did. Daryl Gallagher, I like the guy. I like what he did with Tomb Raider and whatnot. So I wanted to see that same effect on Perfect Dark, and we're not going to get it. Microsoft killed a studio before they shipped a game. How embarrassing. Phil Spencer should be ashamed. And honestly, there was a rumor that he's retiring after the next generation. He said, I'm not even going to read the article, right? Because they already came out with a comment saying this is not true. He's not stepping down. I think I'm going to assume this. Phil Spencer is not stepping down right now, but him stepping down at the time of next generation, possibly, absolutely. Because I don't think as a human being, in his position, the CEO of gaming, whatever, he makes enough money, making that money, and then me being the face of these headlines, of these firings, and how the perception of Xbox and stuff like that, as the gamer in him, the gamer in me, I could tell he disagrees with some of these moves and the things that he has to do. Make enough money, severance package, you know what I mean? I would retire. I would retire because I don't want to be associated with stuff. I don't want to, once I start doing things in my job, right, that I 100% disagree with. You know what I mean? I'm no longer happy with it. I'd walk away. Especially in his shoes. He can get a job anywhere, but the thing is, he probably doesn't need to work again. He's a high ranking. His ranking, he's been with Microsoft so long. That it will cost them more to fire him. So they're not going to fire Phil Spencer. They're just not. It's too expensive. And Phil Spencer, there's no incentive for him to quit or walk away because it would be best for him to get fired. You know what I mean? And they don't want to do that. It would be beneficial. They're better off getting rid of Matt Booty, Sarah Bond, all of them. Not saying this is what they should do. It's just a lot cheaper to do so. But yeah, like I don't know, man. Xbox is in it's always been in. This is a cycle. We shouldn't be shocked anymore. We shouldn't pretend anymore. I do get surprised at some other people's reactions in a way, because Xbox is a third-party publisher now. You should treat them like EA and 2K when they do these things, when they lay off people. You guys don't have nearly the same reaction. Your games are available on your platform, and you know who I'm talking. I'm talking to these PlayStation guys who are doing this. They're only doing this because Xbox still sells a console. That's why they still have these reactions. If they didn't sell a console, they wouldn't care. But this is my video. Like I said, I don't do gaming videos anymore the way I'm used to. I just brought back the LTG podcast, Let's Talk Games podcast with Dre. We're definitely going to be talking about this tomorrow. I'm trying to teeter my content creation a little bit more because Xbox has killed my content creation and they're breaking my heart every 3 months. That's my video, guys, and I will see you guys on the next one. But